Of course, I was muted. That's how we do. That's what happens when you have live, when you're going live, folks. Welcome to the All Sports Matter podcast. I am your host, JB. Tonight we have some good stuff we're talking about tonight. We have some legends that we need to talk about. We have a couple things happening in football and basketball. But first, and also, I guess we'll spend a couple minutes talking about the NFC South. You know, they got a couple of teams. But first, let me bring in my brothers to help me out. Tonight, I got Mr. Two Belts and Amir Poppy Ortiz. Y'all come on in and let's get this started, fellas.
Do what it do. Let's talk some sports, baby.
So, yesterday we got on merchandise. We will have merchandising for y'all folks. I know y'all been looking for it. We got something coming. So, in the last couple of days, we had a couple of folks that sadly passed. You saw it at the beginning. We'll talk about it again. Bill Russell and Vin Scully, two pioneers of the game, two Hall of Famers. How y'all feel about that, fellas?
I think that was tough. You know, we're talking about two of the top of their crafts. You know, whether it's journalism, and I would like to add that it's quite possible that Bill Russell is quite possibly the most winningest person in the history of winning. You know,
period.
Yeah, we're talking about from starting off as a kid, won a gold medal, won 2 national championships, played, I believe, 13 seasons and won 11 of them. That's insane. The only reason he didn't win the 12th one, I was reading earlier, is because he broke his ankle and was still trying to win it. You know, that's as outside of Tom Brady, as we see in that era. I'm trying to bring it towards the NFC South since we're talking about it. We see how great Brady has been. Our era hasn't seen how great Bill Russell was. You know, one year he averaged 50 points a game. You know, obviously he was a man among boys. So we can say on paper he was quite possibly the most winningest player / coach of all time. And for him to pass and then Vince Scully to pass away the very next day.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah, that for me, that was the weird, the crazy part was, you know, we lost two like you said, pioneers of their particular crafts, man, back to back like that. You know, they say the old saying, "Death comes in threes," man. I'm just praying we don't get a third one at this point. Yeah, those are too rough. I mean, no matter what team you root for, there was no way that you didn't know or didn't respect Bill Russell or Vin Scully for what they did for their crafts.
Right. Yeah, you're right. And, you know, being a Laker fan, or as you call it, a Los Angeles Pelicans fan, you know, I know very well who Bill Russell was, and is much respect to Bill Russell for, you know, all of the greatness he brought in. It's the reason they named the MVP. Was it the MVP award? Yeah, the finals MVP. Yeah, there's a reason they named that after him. So, you know, much respect and rest in peace to him. And Vin Scully, you know, one of my fondest memories of Vin Scully, you know, besides being a Dodger fan, was when he called the catch, you know, 49ers and Cowboys. So, you know, it's just a long history of things that they've done, and people don't even realize how they changed and shaped the sport. So, RIP to both of those gentlemen, and, you know, condolences to their families. Let's go ahead and switch gears right now. We all saw what happened this week over in Russia. Everybody knows that Brittany Griner got a raw deal. We don't like to talk politics on this show, but how y'all feel about 9 years?
It's political.
It's political, yeah. That's definitely political. I mean, there's no way around that. I mean, 9 years, you know. I'm not going to pretend like I know Russian law, but I mean, and it wasn't even weed. It was hash oil.
Weed adjacent.
Right. I mean, yeah.
Diet weed.
Diet
It was
weed.
the cousin
That's
of
what
weed.
you got popped for. Diet weed. You know what I mean? 9 years. I mean, we all know that. Like I said, we're not trying to touch politics or religion here on this show. You know, we try to keep it strictly sports, but there's no way that we can talk about Brittany Griner and what she's going through without, you know what I'm saying, seeing it for what it really is.
Right.
I mean, that's 100% a political move on Russia's part, you know, for whatever reason. I'm not going to get too into that, you know, but we all know what that is.
Right. And I got somebody on there saying, you know, it's not political, it's their law. Well, I need you to show me in their law books where you get 9 years for possession of a corner of what used to be a vape pen. So, but that's neither here nor there.
There's still countries that whip their inmates. There's still countries that behead people that break the law.
And there's countries that don't allow, they still don't allow women to actually walk around and show their face, and or walk around outside without a man from their family present. So
there's no doubt in my mind that she's guilty. I think we're arguing the fact that 9 years doesn't fit the punishment, doesn't fit the crime.
Yeah, it's excessive. We're not saying that she didn't break the law. We're definitely not saying that. It's just it's that's excessive. 9 years. I mean, the charges is not position. I don't understand it. Well, I don't understand that comment. The charges is not position.
I don't know.
It's a Cowboys fan. We never know what is being said.
So. He actually isn't a Cowboys fan, but we're not gonna claim him today. I need
to know. Hold on, we get sidetracked for 2 minutes. I ain't know the story because every week he hops on talking about Cowboys gonna win.
That's not who you
different Derek.
Yeah, that's not. You're talking about Derek Bilbo.
You talk about my brother Derek.
That's my cousin Derek. This one's a Saints fan, right?
No, that's my cousin Derek. He's a 49er fan.
How many Dereks y'all got in your
now
family?
It makes sense.
Just two. Firstly, Titans fan, I'm gonna need you to calm down, sir, and go find Tannehill somebody to throw to real quick.
Well, I mean, he found somebody to throw to against the 49ers last year. I'm just saying.
See how much I hate.
Well, he got people to throw to. It's just that
guy.
Yeah, but they're wearing different colored jerseys.
I said that guy he found to throw to against San Francisco last year. They ended up trading him to Philly, didn't they?
Hey, we're talking about the NFC South, sir.
Oh, we are. We're talking, but you know what? Don't even worry about that. Let's talk about Deshaun Watson real quick. Do y'all think the NFL is going to extend that from just the 6 games, or you think?
Well, it's not up to the NFL at this point.
Well,
they're pushing for it. They want that to happen. Yes,
right. They're pushing for it. You think that it's going to get moved?
I don't know. This is one of those cases where it's like, okay, if it was Goodell handing down the punishment, then we would kind of have a clearer picture. But they're dealing with outside entities now. You know what I mean? Like people that aren't supposed to have any affiliation with the NFL or the Players Association. It's supposed to be independent arbitrators who are ruling on these. She ruled, gave him 6 games. They can appeal, but I mean, like I was saying, before we started, before we came on air, where does it end? Okay, they'll appeal. Let's say the arbitrator says, he should get a year. Does the Players Association is not just going to leave that alone, right?
I personally blame the Houston Texans on many levels. I'm not condoning what Deshaun Watson did. I'm just trying to answer your question. And me answering your question should have been the Houston Texans should not have dressed Deshaun Watson all last season. They should have either suspended him. This should have happened last year.
They didn't dress him.
But for some reason, Houston decided to just sit him out and say, we're going to wait on the NFL while we'll make sure these women sign 32 NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, because they knew what this man was doing. All this falls on the lap of the Houston Texans. I'm sorry. I guarantee you, if they would have played him for one snap last year, the NFL would have suspended him on the spot, and he would have been able to play this year. That's all I'm saying. This goes back to Houston Texans. And I get it. Houston, they don't want to, nobody wants to be the bad guys. That's why the CBA was changed out to an arbitrator or an outside judge, because Goodell's tired of being the bad guy. But he's going to be regardless, because he was quick to appeal it. The sentence came down, he appealed it within the hour. We're appealing.
I mean, it took him a couple of days to appeal it.
No, he came out immediately. It took him a couple of days to get the paperwork in, but he announced immediately, we appealing.
Oh, they were going. Oh,
okay. Yeah. He wasn't going.
He announced it immediately. Oh, yeah, we're appealing. And then we're going to let another outside arbitrator handle that. This could have been handled last year. I'm sorry.
It could have been, but they let him. And you're right. They did dress him the entire year and just had him sitting there on the sideline. And for what if they would have suspended him last year or they what they needed to do, it'd have been over with. But they didn't.
And paid the man the entire year. That's another thing that's crazy to me.
Well, they couldn't not pay him.
Yes, they could have. They could have suspended him indefinitely, immediately.
Yeah, but I mean, it still would have had to been a ruling, and they still would have had to pay him until that ruling came down. So it still would have been. I think for Houston, Houston
had
didn't want
the NFL's hand.
I think, but see, and that's what I'm getting at. I think Houston knew that, hey, we kind of enabled this situation. We don't want to bring all this focus while he's here on us, and then they start investigating us in-house while he's here. You know what I mean? Because it's already coming out that, they had him sign the NDAs. They brought, how many ever masseuses to Deshaun or introduced him or, facilitated the relationship. I think that they knew that, okay, yeah, we kind of screwed this up. Let's just have him sit, let him pay him. That'll keep the NFL out of our business for now. And they knew, hey, end of the year, we're getting rid of him. Let it deal with it then.
Yeah, I 100% agree. They should have taken care of it. They didn't. And now the NFL is about to they chomping at the bit basically, because they were doing it all last season. So they're about to see what they go get, what they go be able to do, was going to be allowed for them to do. I see Derek. I see you said the NFL control outcome. Yeah, we know how Goodell like to get down. So we go see what they try to do. They suspended the little boy name is from the Falcons, Calvin Ridley. They suspended him for a whole year for betting on his team when he wasn't playing. Josh Gordon.
I don't think he even bet on his team. He betted on NFL games.
Right.
I don't think he even came out that was on his team.
He betted on
the games that was on the Falcons.
Yeah, he betted on the Falcons too.
Josh Gordon, rightfully so.
As a matter of fact, we got a Falcon fan down there. We can ask him about that when
we go ask him about it. Josh Gordon, Plaxico Burress got suspended when he shot himself. That was still dumb. How you shoot yourself, but that's neither here nor there.
Cheddar Bob.
Cheddar damn Bob. But the fact remains that the NFL is officially back. The Hall of Fame game was played last night with it's two teams that don't really matter.
Jags and the Raiders.
Jacksonville the Raiders beat Jacksonville. What is it, 25-11, 22-11?
Something like that.
I think. Yeah, my takeaway from that game was, it was against 2s and 3s, but Trayvon Walker looked pretty good.
He did.
Yeah, he showed out.
He did start the game off with a 15-yard roughing the passer penalty when he got blocked into hitting the dude in the head. And on that very same play, the third string quarterback threw the ball straight up in the air some kind of way, and it still ended up with landing in the Raiders' hands. I don't know how that happened, but
Stidham, that's his name.
Stidham, he don't count. He not go. He guarantee he's not gonna play this season. That's gonna be all his all.
We were trying to figure out his name last night. That's his name.
We were, and that's the last time we'll probably hear it all season. I promise. So, but yeah, that was the biggest takeaway. So now, if y'all don't have anything else to talk about, I guess we can jump into this NFC South and see, just how terrible they're going to be, because a lot of people voted and said that the NFC South was going to be the worst division in football this year. I got a Panthers fan asking when he can get on the podcast. Look, you could have been on there today, but we got choked. So, but we bringing them all on there. Mr. Cherry, and you can still, everybody who's in here, y'all can still put y'all opinions down in the comments as well. So go ahead and put your opinions down in the comments. But right now we go bring in the three special guests we have for this hour. We have Marcus Choate, who is a Panthers fan. We have Mr. JT, who is
Jonathan Thompson,
Atlanta. He's a Falcons fan. Is he in Atlanta?
Nah, he's in Alabama.
He's in Alabama, but he's a Falcons fan. Then I have Theo, who is a New Orleans Saints fan. So we gonna bring these guys in, and by all means, we are gonna talk a whole lot of trash about Tampa Bay since they decided not to show up. So let's bring these guys in, Fleck, and let's start talking to some folks. If we can get Choate's mic to unmute. Fellas.
What's good, man? The mic still mute?
Choate, unmute your mic.
What's going on?
Let's start with JT. Since he a Falcons fan, we gonna start with JT because I'm gonna put this out there right now. 28-3. So I don't want to hear nothing, but just know 28-3. What JT? How you feel like?
Well, you acting like an undercover Saints fan. I'm just saying.
I'm from New Orleans. I live in New Orleans.
Where you from? And you acting like an undercover Saints fan right now.
Not an undercover Saints fan. Everybody that's in New
Man,
Orleans,
you always got to roll with the home team.
if you a Saints fan or not,
But he don't know. He went all the way to California.
Everybody here hates the Falcons. There's a couple of people down here that's Falcons fans. I don't know how they Falcons and Alabama fans. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. But we everybody down here is in our blood to hate the Falcons, whether we're a Saints fan or not. So what you think the Falcons go do this year, JT? How you think they go do?
To be honest, man, I see them going about 3-14. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it.
There you go.
I'm gonna be real about it, man. We can't get any pressure on the quarterback. That's one of the main things. I see maybe Cleveland will win, maybe Carolina will win at home. And I don't know where we're gonna find another one at.
I think y'all can beat Seattle.
Yeah, I feel like y'all can beat Seattle.
I think like y'all got
Seattle.
So we got a talented enough team.
Oh yeah, it's in Seattle.
I know, but I mean, it's still Drew Lock or Geno Smith that you're dealing with, unless they trade for Jimmy G, which we'll save for another show. But I mean, you don't think y'all can beat Drew Lock?
I don't think they could beat Geno Smith.
I mean, that might be the one road win that we can pick up.
Faith in the team.
I'm gonna be a realist. I'm not finna sugarcoat it like a Saints fan sugarcoat it thinking y'all gonna win. So,
we go.
And since we talking, that might be the upset. The first game of the season might be the upset.
We gonna win. We gonna win 2 games for sure. One here against Atlanta, and the other one in Atlanta against Atlanta.
So, in keeping with Atlanta though, at what point, you as a fan draw the line between Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder?
Woo! I gotta look at Mariota now. He doesn't have anybody to throw the ball to now. You
got Kyle Pitts and Drake London.
Ridder,
yeah, I like both of them.
Pitts okay. Drake London still got to prove himself. I mean, we just going based on USC highlights. He didn't play a full season, so what are we really talking about? I mean, it was a draft pick. I got faith in the organization. They made a decent draft pick, but he's yet to be proven.
That's true too.
I can agree with you on that.
So, but you draw the line between.
Go ahead.
when you say draw the line between Ritter and Mariota, I think Mariota can make it the full season. Ritter, based on competition at Cincinnati, you can't. I mean, and that's what I base a lot of things on, based on competition, based on what I did see on film. I mean, not on necessarily film, but on just game footage. I think Mariota can make it through the season. We gotta get rid of some playing time, so therefore, because he's supposed to be the future, but it's only time will tell.
I mean, but you can't base it off of who they played in college anymore, only because Josh Allen played at Wyoming. I'm not saying Ritter is Josh Allen by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we can no longer base it off, he played against inferior competition in college, so automatically that rules him out in the NFL. You know what I mean?
Now, I'm not saying that rules him out. I'm just saying that you have to look into that's the aspect you have to look at. I'm not saying it rules it out because you have plenty of players. Like I said, going all the way back to Aaron McNair, said shout out for the Titans at FCS. So I don't. You can't rule that out, but I think the aspect of it, from what I've seen, and Josh Allen was exception to the rule. You have a lot of exceptions to the rules, but I don't know yet, and I'm just being honest. I can't.
So was moving along from Matt Ryan the right move for Atlanta?
Was what?
Moving along from Matt Ryan, trading Matt Ryan to Indy, was that the right move to make?
Or how did you feel about that move?
I was tired of Matt Ryan and the city of Atlanta. The city was ready to move on from him. We were expecting for the Falcons to have drafted a successor at least 2 years ago. He got us 7 wins last year, but I don't think that's all he can do. I mean, he can't move in the pocket, he can't do anything. We don't have the offensive line to block for him, so he was just going to be a chandelier.
I like that.
So you ain't really like Matty Ice toward the end of his tenure. So if he go up to Indy and do good, how you gonna feel about that?
I mean, I wish him the best. We just didn't have the offensive line to block for him. Indy has a better offensive line that he might be able to succeed. But when you have Kyle Pitts as your best receiver and you can only get him 1 touchdown for the year,
yeah, that is a problem.
Then
that's a problem.
That's so it's
okay. So and I get it. So, speaking of talent,
and we don't have a strong running game. We don't have a strong running game to even compliment him. There's only so much Cordell Patterson can do.
That's a perfect segue. I was just about to ask you about Cordell Patterson. Does he reinvent the success he had last year? Because he came out of nowhere, because he's been a journeyman to the league. And then last year, he was a stud. And obviously, as a fantasy player myself, I'm not able to count how many rings I should have. But as a fantasy owner, I love Cordell Patterson. How does he fit into this year's Atlanta?
Well, they plan for. I've been reading on some of the block stuff. They plan to use him in the same way that they used him before. But here's the difference. Now you have Mariota, who is a mobile quarterback, as opposed to having Matt Ryan, who was
a statue.
Had to hand the ball to him, or had to get the ball to him. As much. That's yet to be seen. I think he's one of the best, all-around offensive weapons that you can use. But can he have the stamina? Now, we did draft a running back out of BYU to use as as a compliment to him. And he looks good on film, but we'll see that. Like everything with Atlanta right now is only time will tell. Is rebuilding, is Arthur Blank just giving out the Home Depot checks and that's it.
So you go get the Mariota from Tennessee when he first got drafted, or you go get a more defined Mariota where he's honed his skills and his craft?
I think you're gonna get the Tennessee Mariota only because Arthur Smith.
Mariota into his. Yeah, and Mariota was successful. If you look at it, Mariota was successful when they beat the Chiefs in the playoff and came back on that playoff run. He was for that year. He was successful because of successful ground game, and we don't have that ground game Tennessee have. So I don't think we will not be able to get the Mariota out of Tennessee. Now, the Mariota we might be able to get is a throwing Mariota, the Mariota of Oregon Ducks, throwing a maneuver or something like that. But I don't think we'll be able to get the Tennessee Mariota because he was based on a running game.
I feel like you're gonna have to get the Mariota from Oregon because he's gonna be running for his life the entire season. And
that's what I'm saying. Like you that's the Mariota you're gonna have, pass and running.
All right. Well, okay. Well,
speaking of running,
go
somebody that hasn't ran a lot in the last couple of years.
Hey.
And you already know where I'm going with that.
Run CMC.
Them Carolina Panthers.
We got a lot of people asking about you in the comments, by the way, Mr. Cho. We got people that saying they surprised you not fishing. They got people saying you actually came on to defend Carolina and Baker. They're saying I can't believe that's Cho. I ain't seen him in forever. I thought he was still hiding in the forest. I don't know what's going on.
Hey man,
you're very popular, sir.
Hey man, I think we're gonna be okay, man. As far as the offense goes, man, I know y'all was asking earlier about Baker and Darnold, man. The way I see it, Baker's better than what we got, but on paper they the same, man. So I think somebody's gonna have a job. Just period, bro. As far as C-Mac goes, man, we got that running back from the Vikings, man. How they use him, McCaffrey should be in he's not an every down back. Y'all know that. I know that. Everybody in here knows that, man. So hopefully they share some time, man. So
yeah, as far as y'all got Dante Foreman from us too.
Yeah.
He was with Tennessee last year and he balled out for us too. So
exactly, man. So, and we got some pieces we put together on that offensive line. That was a big thing. We got the left. We got Christensen last year, and then we got the dude from NC State this year. So, one of them's gonna play right tackle. One of them's gonna play that blind side. Periodpointblank.com. But
so if we gotta, I'm sorry to cut you off. We gotta address a question directly to you in our comment section, and it says, "Be honest. Was you crying the night Baker got traded to the Panthers?" And that came from Gary Tollett.
He was actually happy about it because I talked to him that night. He was actually happy about it. But go ahead.
It was. I was like, damn, man. Like seriously. They're just trying to plug and play, man. Tollett, they're trying to plug and play. It's the way I see it because we drafted a quarterback, but he's not the right now I'm going to start quarterback. So he's going to have to sit out. But in the future, you know what I mean? I call him OK Corral, man. OK Corral's going to be all right, man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm just going to have to watch, man. I'm like everybody here, man. I'm going to have to watch and see how this plays out for us. Do I want Darnold on the field? Heck to the no. From last year, man? No, I don't want him on the field.
I'll tell y'all both. I got a quarterback. I got a quarterback that I'm willing to give up for a third round pick. That's it. That's all I want.
Right.
Third round.
If they didn't trade for Jimmy G when they got Baker, they're not going to trade for him.
He was shoulder surgery, sir. He was shoulder surgery,
and he's still shoulder.
He's back and ready.
Y'all are stuck.
Calm down. Stop hating. Let me work.
Carolina.
You talking about
Carolina? How do you feel about that defense right now?
Our defense
in Carolina.
Our defense is. I'm happy about it. Y'all seen it last year, man. We lost a bunch of games by 10 points or less, man. So, and that was because of the offense. And I'm just being real, man. But this year, our schedule's totally different. And it's hard, man. It's hard.
So, got a question for you, Marcus. Over under 6 games, CMC.
Over 6 games.
Oh,
You are very confident, sir.
I'll take that bet.
Over.
You are very confident.
Over 6
Yeah,
games.
he's not gonna. I think like with them getting Foreman though, and
They got Chuba Hubbard.
I was about to say that, so they're not gonna run CMC into the ground as much. Like,
exactly.
You know, he was their offense for a while. Like that was it. He was their offense.
Well,
hey, man, now, everybody's forgetting the dark horse, man. DJ Moore has had 1,000-yard season ever since he's came in the league, bro. He's the forgotten wide receiver, man. But that's facts.
I like DJ Moore.
I ain't forgot about him. Let me ask you this question, though, Choate. Since you said over 6 games, would you draft him in your fantasy league?
Draft who? C-Mac?
CMC. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Early or late?
Late.
Okay.
Because
I would draft him, but I'm not
ready for the waiver wire about round.
I'm gonna tell y'all a secret, man. Wide receivers is where it's at in fantasy leagues, and I'm gonna leave it at that, man.
No, trust me, we know that. You know, when you're ready to step up to the big leagues, you let us know. But with that being said, Robbie Anderson, for some reason, was a standout wide receiver in New York / New Jersey. We get it, the Jets.
Are we gonna say standout?
No, and he was.
I mean, it was the Jets.
He was.
It was the Jets.
Numbers wise, he was.
It was the Jets.
What happened to him coming over to Carolina is obviously he has the speed, no hands. What talk to me about Robbie Anderson?
I will. Robbie Anderson has the 10 inches. He's fast. He'll be wide open. And he can't. I don't know what he's doing, man. He's dropping balls. He's getting mad because he's not getting balls thrown at him. Then when he does, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with this guy. I really don't, man. I'd rather get rid of him and pick up OBJ, man.
Whoa. Right now, you can have both of them, to be honest with you. But
he got 9
and all depends on where OBJ wants to go.
Hands, huh?
So I really don't know what's going on with Robbie Anderson, but with Carolina,
I think we lost.
Hey, just like the Panthers' offense, they froze.
I think we lost.
Starting to sputter a little bit. All right, so while we work on these technical difficulties, let's switch gears a little bit and go to the Crescent City and talk to our resident Saints fan, Mr. Theo Marcel. What you think your boys in black and gold about to do this year, Theo?
I know for sure we going to the playoffs. I know that much. I know we gonna make the playoffs this year.
You can't make that statement when I'm having a drink, sir.
You said y'all gonna make the playoffs?
Yeah, we stay healthy.
Who will be y'all quarterback, sir?
James is gonna be the quarterback.
James gonna be the quarterback.
Why is that even a question?
No, I'm saying who gonna be the quarterback to bring them to the playoffs. So is this gonna be the James that's throwing 30 intercepts, or the James that started out last year and then got hurt?
Well, like it's been said, you gotta know Bruce Arians had that system where that's the same thing Tom Brady was doing when he first got to Tampa Bay. Throw it up there. He was throwing a lot of intercepts, throwing the ball, pushing it down the field. So same thing James was doing when he was there.
What Taysom Hill playing at this year?
Taysom Hill playing tight end, but he playing tight end, but they still gonna use him, for some of their trick plays or whatever you want to call them. They're gonna use him as quarterback. They still gonna utilize him like they've been using him, but they want to mainly play him as tight end. Think about it, you got he run 4-3 tight end. He already was running passes and catching the ball. If they use all the weapons on the offense that they have, man, look,
let me
got to put the ball where it needs to be.
Let me ask you this. Okay, last year they were one game away from the playoffs. I'll give you that. San Fran stuck in there. New Orleans was out. I think they tied the same record. I guess they had the head-to-head or whatever.
San Fran had the lose.
Right. Mm-hmm. So Well, with that being said, I'm optimistic that the Saints could have not necessarily a bounce back year, but the exact same year. I am not as confident as you are. So obviously you're a fan, so you're supposed to be confident of the Saints making the playoffs. But what makes you so? You said they guaranteed to make the playoffs. What makes you so looking forward to this guarantee? How can you back up this guarantee? How?
Because you got to look at it. Last year, when Jameis got hurt, we were 6-2. After he got hurt, we had a plethora of switches at quarterback, whether it was COVID, whether it was you had Trevor, and you had all the different people back there. Then the game we needed, we ain't had no quarterback. So it's
I'm
with the COVID protocols and all that coming to under wraps, where players are going to be able to be on the field and practice together more. Like I said, barring injury, we added to our offense. We got a bunch of people to throw the ball to. Michael Thomas coming back.
I do like Chris Olave. I like Olave.
I like the receiving core. Period.
We got Jarvis. We got
I like the receiving core.
Landry,
we got Michael Thomas. We got Barnes to see what they're gonna do with Alvin Kamara because his suspension probably gonna be. Then what they about to do with Deshaun Watson, they're probably gonna try to make an example of what they've been doing with all these suspensions.
Well,
So
Kamara have a criminal case happening, and they didn't have criminal charges filed against Deshaun Watson, so we got to see what's going on with that.
So, but they still got Mark Ingram, and and you can't really crowd the line, being that we got a decent receiver core too. See, last year, Alvin Kamara couldn't breathe because they had nobody throwing the ball to, and they wasn't consistent enough catching the ball to where you was gonna really, pay attention to him.
All right,
Our defense, it just got better. It ain't, it ain't really the grade.
I give you that. Picking up Tyrann Mathieu was huge.
Yeah, you lost Quan Alexander, but you brought back Kiko. I don't know if that was really an upgrade. My bad, Fleck. Go ahead.
I wish they would have signed him back, though. I wanted them to keep Quan. I wish they would have re-signed him because he provides experience in the level of speed that we need at that linebacker position.
Right. Fleck, go ahead.
So you said you guarantee the Saints to make the playoffs. How many wins do you see them finishing with? Because I'm looking at y'all's schedule right now, and it's like, I'm seeing a team that might struggle to get into the playoffs, and you're guaranteeing it.
I'm only seeing 8 to 9 wins, in my opinion. But I'm not.
And you giving them more than us. You're giving them more than I'm giving them.
I'm giving 13.
13.
Oh, 13 winning the division over Tampa Bay. Come on, sir.
Hey,
hold on.
Come on,
Jim.
Wait a minute. First of all, Tampa Bay
how
got
do you know this Theo guy? 13.
Where did this guy come from?
13.
Tampa Bay got
13, bro.
13, yo.
Wow.
1-3.
Look,
Tampa Bay can barely win 13.
Sir, I mean, and of course, the game isn't played on paper.
It
but
is
on
not.
paper, I'm struggling to give you guys 8 wins.
Okay,
and you said 13.
So
it's not played on paper, but you, sir, paper. They team got 13 wins in them.
Last year, how would you rate our defense against those teams that we played? Our defense did not stand up against the better teams last year. Our problem was offense. We couldn't put the ball in time. The defense was awesome.
I'll give you that. But
the defense did they degrade or did they get better?
13 wins is elite at this point.
That's straight.
I'm not making a call until after September 11th.
I mean, that's your team. You're supposed to have all the confidence in the world on them, but 13.
Got high hopes.
I mean, do we have time? Do I have time to go through their schedule game by game? Because I want to see where these 13 wins are coming from.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, first game against the Falcons.
We're gonna beat them.
Tampa Bay.
Okay.
We're gonna beat them. We own them.
They playing at Tampa Bay or
no? This is at home. Home against Tampa Bay.
We own Tampa Bay.
First home game. I feel like they're
at Carolina.
We gonna beat them. They gonna be a little dazed and confused. We usually struggle with Christian McCaffrey, and that's type of Carolina usually get us with Christian McCaffrey because I don't know what's the problem with them checking him, but that be but I think that quarterback issue.
McCaffrey gonna be good that game though, is because it's gonna be the third game, so he gonna be good that game.
Okay, then these next three at home. These next three at home: Minnesota, Seattle, Cincinnati.
Ooh, Minnesota Miracle.
We might.
You notice you got to look away. You notice you looked away right there, right?
No,
you try to find wins out the window. You looked away.
The Minnesota game is the one that scared me.
You're not worried about Cincinnati?
You better be scared of Cincinnati. Joe Burrow said he coming for the neck.
Let me tell you.
They still got Eli Apple. They still got Eli Apple.
I'm gonna tell you.
8-9 wins.
Every team on that schedule that you are so confident in that the Saints gonna lose to, that's the teams we always beat.
No, it's not that I'm confident. I'm just trying to see where you got 13 wins at.
That we gonna beat. That's the teams we always struggle with.
So you already said y'all gonna struggle against Carolina and Minnesota. So that's 2 losses already that you're giving them.
It's that way every year. With the first game of the season last year, when everybody betted that Green Bay was gonna run over it, what happened?
Hold on.
Green Bay.
Then y'all got after those 3, you got at Arizona.
We gonna win now.
And by this game, D-Hop will be back. He will have served his 6 games by this game.
We gonna win now.
Okay, then you got the Raiders and the Ravens at home.
2 L's.
That's why we gonna win them.
Then you got at the Steelers, which I'll give y'all that one. At the Steelers.
That's probably the one we gonna lose.
Okay. Then you got the Rams coming to New Orleans.
We gonna win that one. We don't like the Rams. We got the vendetta ever since that call. We don't like them.
Hold up. And then these next 2 are on the road. You got the 49ers on the road, and then you got the Bucks on the road.
2 losses.
Oh, we're gonna beat the 49ers too. They ain't got no quarterback. I see that.
Yeah. And then you finish up with a home game against the Falcons.
Just extra hateful.
At Cleveland, at Philly, and the Panthers come to New Orleans.
Y'all might finish strong at 3 or 4, but I'll still only get y'all 8 to 9 wins.
Yeah,
you're right, Tito. He do sound like a Cowboy fan.
13-4 to get 13 wins. You realize that, right? You can only lose 4 games.
Hey,
you realize that?
Hey, 13 get you 10 all day.
Yeah, I don't think 13 wins.
This man playing spades instead of football.
Yeah, he is.
No,
well, we know how Saints fans are.
I had to take a big gulp of my drink when you said 13.
I had to sit mine down because I think I had too much. I didn't know.
I had to take a big gulp.
I was thrown all the way on.
But see the numbers y'all throw out. That's the same numbers. That's the same numbers all the sports media and all them throwing out. Saints 8-8. Saints 9-8.
They're experts though. They be seeing that stuff. They know what y'all got going.
Man, they ain't experts. I watch them do they make the wrong calls and wrong.
Like I said, the game is not played on paper, but on paper, I'm struggling to give y'all 8 wins, bro.
Right, that's on
paper though. That's on paper. The game is not played on paper.
The game not played on paper.
You're exactly right.
I'm going by from what I have seen. Every time it's like fuel to them. That's why I hate when people pick us to win. Every time you pick them to lose, it's like Cameron Jordan them go out there and they beast mode.
I like Cameron Jordan and Mario Davis.
When Tom Brady got to Tampa Bay. Oh, Tampa Bay about to do it. They're going to do the same. What happened? They took that as a challenge, and they went out there, and they smoked Tampa Bay every time.
But Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl, though. But let me ask this question. Hold on. Real quick, Fleck. You went through the schedule and all that, but you did not include suspension of Elmer Kamara in this. So is you saying that his suspension not gonna be a factor?
Who, me?
No, I'm talking to Theo.
Oh,
I said that. I said, barring how many games they suspend him or what they do, because it looked like they've been leaning pretty hard on these suspensions this season.
He did say that.
So I said that.
No, he said that at the beginning, but when we were going down the schedule, you talking about 13 games. So is it going to be 13 with Kamara in the lineup, or still 13 with him suspended?
They would have to. Long as they figure it out, they can still win 13 games.
Well, he said he said even though Kamara was injured, going to be suspended, he had confidence in Mark Ingram picking up the slack.
Well,
he did say that.
I'll pose the same question to you.
I'll take it.
That I posed to the Panthers fan. Over under 8 games for Michael Thomas.
Over.
Yeah, I think he's in the clear now.
Mr. Shattered Ankle.
I think he's in the clear.
Man,
now.
Mike been rehabbing the ankle for a year and a half.
Yeah, almost 2.
That ankle ain't better.
I think he's in the clear. I think Mike Thomas is in the clear now. I think Mike Thomas his injuries was mostly mental. I think he was mentally injured.
So he was like Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
because last year when he had a chance to come back and he realized they wasn't going nowhere, he said, "Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and just
my ankle still hurt."
Ben Simmons. He pulled the Ben Simmons.
But they could have went somewhere. Like I said, there was only 1 game away from the playoffs.
But they knew the 49ers weren't about to lose that game.
I mean,
yeah, but when you got to rely on somebody else, it don't never, especially us, it never pans.
I think he gave up once Jameis Winston got hurt.
It never pans in our favor when we got to rely on somebody else to win. It never pans in our favor.
I get you. I understand that. But look, let me ask this question though, because we talked about the fail cants and they 28-3, all that good stuff. We talked about the Panthers and CMC not being able to run. We talked about the Saints with the bags on their heads. We have not yet talked about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
For good reason. We can't get nobody to come on.
Yeah, we can't get nobody to come on. Nobody wants to be a fan of the Buccaneers. I just want to point that out. But we still need to talk about them because it's the NFC South show. So, as fellow NFC South people, JT and Theo, what y'all think the Bucs go do? I'm gonna let y'all talk first, and then we'll go to the panel. And also in the comments, y'all go ahead and put in there what y'all think the Bucs go do, who y'all think go win the division, and the rankings and stuff like that in the comments. Appreciate it.
Well, Harding already said that he thinks Tampa Bay that Brady's gonna win again. So
I did see that. And somebody said the Saints gonna be 5-12 without Kamara, but
Tito said that.
That wasn't me. I saw it. I read it in the comments.
That's a little bit excessive.
Yeah,
I don't see.
We used to the hate. That's why we use it for fuel. We used to the hate.
He's a 49er fan,
I was
and we don't like
the
the
49ers fans. They
no
a little off anyway.
We've done nothing to you. We just sitting here and you just bringing us up. We ain't talking about you. We ain't saying
Tom Brady gonna get one of them good licks this year. That's what's gonna happen. he keep trying. He gonna get one of them good licks this year.
Tom Brady ain't got no center. They got Julio Jones though.
I was about to say they got a receiving core though. Chris Godwin is practicing now.
Julio got hamstring injury.
He is practicing now.
Julio hamstring injury. Jones
was fully healthy for a whole season.
His second year of high school.
Okay. Okay.
They say don't speak on the Niners unless it's with respect. That's right, sucker.
And we know this, in my opinion, I don't care who Tom Brady play for. That's the cheat code.
They got a rough schedule too. I don't know if it's just the NFC South that drew the short straw this season, but they got a rough schedule too.
I don't know, but Tom Brady don't have no offensive line. His center got hurt.
That's
somebody
true.
Retired. Somebody else got hurt.
That's
so
true.
He kind of down right now.
And Gronk said he ain't coming out of retirement for him.
Their entire interior of their line is either hurt or went somewhere else during the offseason. So they've lost 2 guards, their center, and the backup guard, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that who? No, the center is the one that just got hurt.
I'll still take Tampa Bay to win the division.
Yeah, but I'm looking, like I said, I'm looking at their schedule. Though. Their schedule is kind of,
He a Tom Brady fan.
Who? Amir?
No,
yeah,
no.
that's why you pick Tom Brady fan.
Nah.
Tom Brady could go out there by himself, and you still have people pick them to win. With nobody else but him on the offense. It's Tom Brady. He gonna win.
Can we stop being a homer for 1 second? And you can answer this question for me, Theo. You really expect the Saints to win the division over Tampa Bay?
It's possible.
No. Yes or no?
I expect them to be Tampa Bay competition.
If you think at 13 wins, you gotta expect to be in the championship.
I expect
the reason I'm asking
game between the Saints and Tampa Bay to be the deciding factor between who's gonna win the division.
The reason I'm asking is because you got the Saints winning 13 games. That makes the Tampa Bay winning 14 or more, which I don't. I got the Saints winning 12 and 13. I mean, the Bucks winning 12, 13 themselves.
I don't even have them winning that many.
If you expect, I'm trying to call you on your BS. If you expect the Saints to win 13 games, that's winning the division, sir. So I want to ask you again, how are you expect to win 13 games and not win your division?
Well, we're gonna win a division. We're gonna be back on top.
And you know the NFC South, they change division winners every year. So it's very possible that somebody else go win the division this year because
not Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has won 3 years in a row.
Twice.
Yeah, because
and this
he ain't been there 3 years.
This year, it'll be 3 years in a row.
Yeah. This year it'll be 3 years.
This will be the third year, yeah. Because I was about to say he won the Super Bowl first year, lost last year, and he's back this year.
Right. But he said they won it 3 years in a row.
He didn't win it. I don't think he won it that first year.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't. Because they played the Saints in the dome for the playoffs. They beat us in the dome.
Y'all keep talking. I'm looking
that
it up.
playoff game we lost in the dome.
That's very possible.
I'm looking it up.
He won it 1 year.
That's very possible. I wasn't watching.
We beat them twice. We beat them twice that first year.
He's right. So from 2017 to 2020, the Saints won the division. And then 2021, Tampa Bay won.
Yeah.
So Tampa Bay won it last year.
Okay, Sean Payton was still there. Okay.
There's no doubt that the Saints have Brady's number. I'll give y'all that. No doubt about that. But I'm rooting for Winston to have not necessarily a 30-30 year like he did a couple years back, but the Saints is going to be a problem. Not a 13-win problem, but they're going to be a problem. And I'm going to meet you halfway, sir. I'll give y'all the Saints is going to be a problem. But this is Tampa Bay's division to lose.
Okay, so what makes you so confident Tampa Bay gonna win a division with all the injuries to their offensive line? You got to be able to protect the quarterback for him to throw the ball to the receivers that he had.
I totally agree.
And Tom Brady is not mobile.
That's a good point. But we're still talking about the talent that's around him. Patriots didn't always have a good offensive line, and they still competed. And on top of competing, they won every other year. 3 out of 4 one time. You know? So talent-wise, on paper, the Bucks is still the head of that division.
Okay,
I believe the Saints make the playoffs.
Remember,
I think the Saints make the playoffs.
game not played on paper. That's what you keep telling me. Remember that. So, but you saying on paper. The game not played on paper.
The Saints is not better than the Bucks on the field. I'll meet you halfway.
They've been better on the field than them the last 2 years. Yeah. If we beat them, will that make us better or worse than them?
In head to head or
record wise? He's saying we not better than them on the field. If we beat them, what does that make us?
What, this year?
No, we ain't played this year. We beat them.
We can't go off of last year.
That's also like saying that Jacksonville is the better team if they beat
Tennessee.
If they beat Tennessee or Indianapolis. Jacksonville won 1 game.
Okay, but given the Saints' offensive weapons that they just picked up, you don't think that they not, if not better, at least
it depends on
Tampa Bay?
It depends on what Jameson you get. You know what I mean? Like, yes, the year he threw 30 interceptions, he also threw 30 touchdowns and over 5,000 yards. But those 30 interceptions killed anything else. You know what I mean? Like, so it depends on which crab legs you get.
And let's not forget he had the surgery though, so he can see now.
Okay, when he got hurt last year, how many interceptions had he thrown to touchdown ratio?
He was still projected to be 30-30.
I can look it up.
9 touchdowns.
I don't know off the top of my head. I can look it up.
I just made those numbers up, but I think he had 2 interceptions. I have no idea, honestly.
So he was the way they was running the offense was keeping it to where he wasn't taking those downfield chances.
So he threw 14 touchdowns to 3 interceptions.
How many?
14 touchdowns to 3 interceptions.
Oh, I was close on my guess. I don't care.
So would you say that we gonna get 30 for 30 to Jameson?
5 of those touchdowns came against Green Bay in the first game.
And then he was quiet. But who's the offensive coordinator?
What's his name? The dude Michael, the same one been calling the plays when Sean Payton was there.
Sean Payton wasn't calling those plays?
Sean Payton was calling, but what's his name? Pete Carmichael, I think he was calling them too. They didn't really change. They didn't go get nobody new. So it's somebody that's familiar with Jameson, familiar with the offense, can pick right up where they left off.
I mean,
that's what I'm getting my information from. They didn't go out and get nobody new. The defense coordinator is not a head coach, so it's not like the defense gonna, start slacking.
They slackers. But we was talking about Tampa Bay. So let's get back on schedule, folks. Now, we was talking about Tampa Bay. I know we was comparing the two, but how we think they go fare. Theo, we know you said that they go lose to the Saints. They go be second in the division.
Why we got?
You think they go win the division?
I think they're gonna win the division. I think.
Can we ask JT?
How do you see the four? How do you see the NFC South in NFC South standings?
I see the Bucks, the Saints, the Panthers, and then us. Well, Panthers and us, it can flip flop. It can go either way. It's really based on several factors. Panthers and us, but Bucks gonna win division. Saints second.
Theo,
I already told you the Saints did the Bucks. Like he said,
we want all 4 of them though.
Carolina, Atlanta can flip, but I think it's gonna be Carolina then Atlanta.
Are you a betting man, Theo?
That's what I was gonna. I was gonna ask him off camera. I was gonna ask him that off camera.
Well, I was gonna finish the conversation off camera, but I just wanted to segue onto off screen time.
Ask that question. Everybody, welcome.
You a betting man?
I want in on that. I want in on that bet. Jim, how do you see it?
How do I see it? I was gonna go last. I was gonna let y'all get y'all's in.
Well, I asked you.
I'll go. You asked me, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I feel like Tampa Bay go win the division by like 1 game. So Tampa Bay will win like 10 or 11 games. Then the Saints gonna be right behind them with 8, 9, 10 games. They'll be in that area. Getting the wild card because you get 3 of them now. Then you'll have Carolina with Atlanta coming in last. But it's not gonna be as divided as you think it's gonna be. It's gonna be kind of close, but Carolina and Atlanta go kind of putter off at the end and just fall into a ditch.
I'll let Amir go last. I'll go next.
First of all, welcome, Rob.
So I think Tampa Bay is going to win it by at least 2 games. The Saints, the Panthers, and the Falcons. You said 3-14. I'm right there with you. I think the Falcons 3-14, 2-15, 4-13, because they're going to get some wins that they shouldn't get. So I'll give them 4-13. So for me, it'll be Tampa, the Saints, Carolina, and I think Carolina is going to be closer to New Orleans than New Orleans is to Tampa Bay.
Oh, so it's going to be
That's
going
just
like
my
this
prediction
the
on
whole
that
time.
one.
Okay.
What you got, Amir?
Hold on.
You got about Rob.
Hold on. Quick question.
Oh, I didn't even know Rob was in here.
Fleck, to your question though, you say the Panthers are going to be closer to the Saints. Then,
So I think they might
which
finish the
quarterback
game
will get them
behind.
there? Hold on. Which quarterback will get them there?
I think it's going to be Baker. I think Baker, the change of scenery, like Baker wasn't necessarily a terrible quarterback. He wasn't a terrible quarterback. And like Choate said, he's better than what they already have on their roster. So he wasn't a terrible quarterback. I think he had a terrible situation, I guess, would be the way I would explain it. He had expectations of a number one pick, which he was, and which he should have, that I think was his ultimate downfall. I think him going to Carolina, he's playing with the house's money. You know what I mean? Like, if he goes out there and balls, cool, they're going to re-sign him. If he don't, somebody's going to pay him again.
But shouldn't he still have
him 30, 40 million that these starters are getting now, but he's going to get paid.
Shouldn't he still have the expectations of a number one pick, though? He's a number
not
one
in
pick.
Carolina, he don't.
He's still a number one pick.
Exactly, but not in Carolina. The expectations are not as high on him in Carolina as it was in Cleveland.
My expectations, if you're a number one pick, I don't give a damn where you go at. You're a number one pick.
I understand what you're saying, and I'm not saying that he doesn't have expectations. I'm saying they're not as high in Carolina as it was in Cleveland.
I'm sorry,
now
Jimmy.
They've seen him and they know what they have. You know what I'm saying? They know what he is and what he's not.
All right.
Jimmy, you sound like Marcus Betts. Okay, you're stuck on this stigma. You're stuck on a stigma that he has to play like the number one pick.
I'm not calling him a bust or anything like that.
Cleveland overdrafted him. Everybody knew that draft.
Exactly.
Everybody knew that draft. He wasn't the number one pick.
Okay.
Cleveland overdrafted. That's on Cleveland.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield's going to come in. I do agree with you, Fleck. He should be the quarterback in Carolina. He's going to perform like the quarterback that he can be. And he can turn the team around to a 9-8, 8-9 type team. I'll give them all that. You got to get away from the mentality that, this is the number one pick. Guess who else is the number one pick? Jameis Winston. Are we expecting Jameis Winston to be the same guy? You know what I'm saying? To be we got to get out of the stigma of number one pick. These guys are not number one picks. Mariota's number two. He's not a number two quarterback.
Exactly.
But guess what? He's still good, and he's going to be good enough. I get it. We got to get out of the mentality. These guys are draft number one. They're the best we've seen that year, and they got to perform like the number one pick. I'm sorry. It's just not like that. They were just the number one pick for that year.
I'm with you, but I'm with you. I hear what you're saying, but I'm just looking at it like, okay, well, I don't understand why you would not expect them to still be a number one pick. But that's me. That's my
because now you've seen him for 4 years. You know that if you had this draft all over again, you would not pick him number one.
I would pick him number one in the first place, but that's my opinion.
Is why he's not in Cleveland.
That's what I'm saying. I hear what you're saying. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying that's my opinion, because all I know is the NFC South have 3, 1 or 2 draft picks for quarterback, and then they have Tom Brady. And who's winning the division?
Tom Brady.
Exactly.
In my opinion, but what does that have to do with
it's basically what y'all saying is it don't matter where they was drafted at. They just need to come. They just need to show up to work, right?
Right now, yes.
Brady was a 6th round pick. I don't know who that was that said he was a 7th round pick. He was 6th.
That was Harding.
No,
but
him
to be retired at the age of 45.
Know how to do math.
But no, I'm not saying that he doesn't have expectations, but they're not as high on him in Carolina as they were in Cleveland.
The expectations
they drafted him number one to be the savior of that franchise. We now know 4 years later that he's not that type of player, but he's still a good player.
Right. But did
Carolina expectations is not for him to go out and throw for 6,000 yards and 80 touchdowns. Like, we don't expect that now.
So they brought him in just to be a bridge quarterback, basically.
They brought him in because he was better than anything else they had on their roster.
That's a shame.
I agree. But guess hold on, you worried about other teams. Trey Lance was selected what 3 overall?
Yeah.
He is not a 3rd overall type quarterback.
He's not. I don't know why.
Each franchise has a different stigma about their quarterbacks.
I absolutely, and I said it when they drafted him, and we will get into this when we talk about the NFC West. But I said when they drafted him, I don't know why you traded all that to get Trey Lance, who was gonna be there for you when it was your turn to draft. You didn't need to trade all that, but you did.
Based on your logic, though, him being drafted number 3, you have these sky high expectations for him.
Yes, he better show his ass up to work.
No, that's not what I asked you.
Yes, you said do I have Scott? Yes, I do. You need to show up to work. You got drafted number 3.
He got the same expectation as Darnold does in Carolina, and Darnold is about to be on a bench to Baker Mayfield.
I don't have the expectation of Darnold because Darnold.
No, I'm only going by your logic when you say he's a number 1 overall pick.
But
I'm only going by your logic.
Trey Lance not a number 1 overall pick. He was a number 3 overall pick.
He's number 3. I get that. Is it tomatoes? Guess what? So was Ryan Leaf. Ryan Leaf was number 2, and Peyton was 1. Mariota's a number 2, and Jameis was 1. You know what I'm saying? You
and the one that you know all too well, Jamarcus Russell was number 1.
Oh my God!
And we know he's the bust of the NFL. But all I'm saying is, I expect them to all show up to work. You was drafted here, so you need to show why you drafted here. I don't know why the 49ers why they traded everything. They leveraged the future to draft him at number 3 when they could have got him later than that. But I expect him to come up to work, and I do expect I have high expectations for him.
And going off what you just said, you draft him number 1, so you expect him to come to work. Carolina didn't draft Baker Mayfield number 1. And that's why I said the expectations for him is not as high in Carolina as it was in Cleveland. I'm not saying that they don't expect him to come in there and show up and, play like a QB1.
Did you not hear me when I said I wasn't arguing with y'all and I understood what y'all was saying?
Look, real quick before you move on, Jim. Amir put the question out there about the number 1 quarterback. How many number 1 quarterbacks have met that expectation? The only ones I can remember are Vic, Luck, Joe Burrow, and Stafford. That's the only ones I can remember off the top of my head.
Not Peyton?
Oh, and Peyton. Oh yeah,
Peyton was a consensual number 1.
We're not even going to mention Peyton. He's different. Peyton's we're talking about a Superman. But yeah, those are the main ones I can remember right now off the top.
Head.
So
like this, but that's different. But yeah, and I get what y'all saying. I wasn't trying to argue with y'all or nothing like this, but I was that was my point of view, my opinion. As they say, everyone has one. Like I'll say nose because we try to keep it as close to PG as we can on the show.
And somebody just put in the comments Cam too. I forgot about Cam, and I forgot about him on purpose.
Rob, who you got for the NFC South?
Cam Newton still in the league?
We're not even gonna do that. No. So for the South, I'm going with Tampa to win out, and Carolina. I don't believe in Christian McCaffrey because he's fragile as stale bread. So I think Atlanta will finish above Carolina.
You expect the Falcons?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm going with
I think my computer glitched. You
Hey,
said the
look,
Falcons above Carolina?
Hey, that's why I got quiet. I was like, hold on, I need to hear that again.
Because I got a feeling that one, Baker, he's going to start the season, but I got a feeling he's going to end up hurt. And Donald's going to come back and see ghosts. Christian McCaffrey's not going to play the whole season.
So you weren't in here when we did the preview for the Panthers.
They
still have running back, like they got Dante Foreman now.
Now
and they got Chuba Hubbard.
Now I believe they
got Chuba. It's not
but Chuba is injury prone too, because he got hurt last year. Remember, a couple of times he got nicked up pretty bad last year because he missed a decent amount of games. And the reason why I know because I picked him because I picked him up for fantasy and he underperformed for me.
And
But
they still got Dante Foreman.
But they got Foreman, so I believe in Foreman. But again, Sam Darnold will get to play probably, I'll say, around game 5 or 6. And again, he will see ghosts. And he will fall apart like New Edition after the Any Heartbreak tour. So I'm still
heartbreak tour.
And I'm still.
All right, Rob.
And I'm not saying they're going to finish a lot of games ahead of them, but I just got Atlanta ahead of them.
All right, Rob. Let me meet you halfway then. Okay, let me meet you halfway. Even if the Panthers fall apart in the division and finish 4th, what makes you so confident that Atlanta move up to 3? Considering the talent they have, is it Mariota? Is it Ritter?
That's my thing.
Is it just handed off to Cardell Patterson?
Because you're saying Mariota is only worse than Baker at this point.
I think Marcus Mariota will have a better season than Baker.
Hey, James Cherry said CMC is their Anthony Davis, and I just find that amazing.
I think he hit it right on the head.
I love everything about this.
Who said if Baker plays well, then our run game might be decent?
That was also James Cherry.
That's my assessment of that team too.
But that's any quarterback though. Any quarterback.
I'm saying I don't. But even if Atlanta gets a running game, I don't see Mariota, because I say Carolina is going to win anywhere between 8 or 9 games. I don't see Atlanta getting over 4 wins. Like, okay, I'll say it like this. I don't see Atlanta getting over 4 wins. So even if Carolina wins 5, then my point was
they're still going to be over. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm getting at.
But either one's interchangeable because both of them are going to be at the bottom of the barrel. So that's just even Steven how it's going to pan out. But I think it's going to come down to Brady with that incredible wide receiver room if Julio can stay healthy and they can put together the new tight ends they got. I think it'll be interesting to see if they can finish out above New Orleans.
You talking about Julio?
I don't even think they need Julio. They don't need to do much playoff time.
He's not going to have to do much.
They still got Godwin. They still got Evans. They picked up Russell Gage. Like, they're fine. Julio was a luxury pickup for them.
Mm-hmm.
He was a luxury pickup. I mean, seriously. He was
a
luxury
pickup. What's the kid name? White wide receiver for
Scotty Miller.
Scotty Miller.
Scotty Miller.
So
I might have said the wrong name. I think it's Scotty Miller.
I think it is
Scotty something.
But they got a deep wide receiver room. But Julio, like you said, he's just icing on the cake. And with 3 really physical wide receivers, if they stay healthy, with the speed they have in the wide receiver room, and didn't they pick up Giovanni Bernard?
Yep, they got Giovanni Bernard. They got Leonard Fournette still.
And Husky Fournette,
20 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, Husky Fournette. And
that's why when Theo said, that the Saints was going to win 13.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because
who y'all see out there in Facebook and YouTube and internet world? Who y'all see winning the division? To let us know in the comments right now. But y'all go ahead. I just want to throw that out there.
Now somebody did bring up a valid point that injury to the center is going to play a very key part in Tampa, but I think they have
they got a guy that they're high on. They drafted him last year, and he didn't play much. But I try to, whenever we have a preview show, I try to, peep in on the training camps of those teams. They're really high on them in training camp. Of course, training camp is, practice. We're talking practice, but they're really high on them in training camp right now. So.
And then the Saints, I'm still trying to
plan out. Are you a betting man?
Theo has gone radio silence.
No, I'm not silent. What you trying to wager on, young man?
No, we'll talk. We'll talk
off camera. We'll talk off camera.
I just want to make sure you're ready for that conversation.
Did Theo pick the Saints to win out?
Theo is a Saints fan.
I'm a ride with the Saints. I just like, hey, I'm a Laker fan. I pick them to win all the time, even though I know in my heart they probably gonna lose. But I picked.
You said you're a what fan?
I'm a Laker fan.
Okay.
Oh Jesus.
Are you a New Orleans Lakers fan?
First of all, let me tell you something, Theo.
Are you an LA Pelicans fan? Maybe I should say it that way.
Hey, look.
Let me give him the backstory real quick. First of all, Theo, let me tell you, he be hating because we didn't have a team down here, so we picked the Lakers, and then we got a team, and so of course we gonna throw our support behind the team that we got down here, but we not.
You didn't throw your support behind the Lakers. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. You didn't throw your support behind the Saints, so I don't want to hear that. I didn't,
because the Saints was here. The Saints was here when I was growing up, and they had bags on their heads, sir. I'm not gonna wear a bag on my head, sir. I can't do it.
That killed that whole argument.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do
it. You said the only reason you're a Lakers fan is because you didn't have a team. Well, you had a team in the Saints, and you still ended up a 49er
because
fan.
they was trash. They had bags on their heads, and the 49ers had Jerry Rice.
So wait, Jim, time out. Yeah, quick question. And Fleck, you could reinforce this. Do you remember when we were in Hawaii and the University of Alabama came to play the Hawaii Bows, the Rainbows?
I do.
And we got murdered in the stadium.
I do.
Did I change my fandom?
No. But
did I run from any of the smoke when they came to show up at PT the next morning?
That's the difference though, Rob. I was never a fan of the Saints.
Well, I was. You never liked them, but that's where you're from.
No, when I became a fan of football, I was a fan of Jerry Rice, so I went to the 49ers because Jerry Rice made me want to play football. That was the whole reason behind my fandom.
I was a Shaq fan the entire time Shaq was a player. But when he was with the Lakers, there was no way you was going to get me to root for the Lakers being a Celtics fan.
But that's the difference. When I got into football, that was
you had a team in New Orleans.
But I was following the 49ers. That was the team that I was following. I know there was a team in New Orleans, but it was a bunch of fans that was wearing bags on their heads. So when I was growing up, it was 3 teams in New Orleans that it was sufficient for you to be a fan of. You had the Saints, you had the Cowboys, you had the 49ers. Saints fans had bags on their head. So who would want to wear a bag on their head when you just coming into a fandom? Then you had the Cowboys. Who the hell wants to be a Cowboys fan? Nobody, right? So in the 49ers had Jerry Rice.
Was you had to rep
the GOAT.
So Jim, in the comment box, it says, Bilbo, I feel like you cheered for the Saints when we were in Iraq. Then the next comment is loyalty is only as good as the team being able to win. Shaking my head. The next one says you got to rep the home team by default. Then, well, we can't go into that because we have another person that doesn't rep the home team, but we're not going to go into that. Anyway,
New Orleans Cowboys.
Hey, this
Bilbo losing cred.
Cowboys. I came with Derek.
You said New Orleans Cowboys.
I came with that dude.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Amir,
it was 3 teams.
That's the Derek you've been looking for.
You see what I'm saying? So growing up,
unfortunately,
I understand. Cherry, I understand what you're saying. You want to follow the home team, but I couldn't get behind them, dude. They was wearing bags on their heads. It was an embarrassment. I need to be around the team.
So when New Orleans
coming up,
and New Orleans got the Pelicans, why were you still a Lakers fan?
Because I've been a Lakers fan. So why would I just drop the Lakers just because there's a team at home?
You dropped the Saints to be a 49ers fan.
I never had the Saints. That's the point that I'm making. I was never a Saints fan. I was always a 49ers fan.
That was your initial argument.
I was always a 49er fan. Even when the 49ers was losing, when we had Alex Smith and we had Jim Tomsula and all them crap coaches, I was still a 49ers fan.
Hey, Hayden said Tico lives somewhere where there's no home team. Hey, that's kind of how I am right now. That's how I am a Titans Celtics fan.
That's Alabama and South Dakota.
I realized that, Jerry.
Harding said that's like saying my homeschool team lost every game, so I'm going to root for the team that kicks our butt every time.
Well, that's what Kevin Durant did.
No, he went and joined them.
He went.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
You know, if you can't beat him, join him. He had that logic right there. But that's Kevin Durant. He ain't met a brush that he liked yet. So my bad. We ain't talking about basketball right now, but he do need to find a hairbrush and some lotion real quick.
Yeah. At this point, I think it's too late, Suge.
The Chiefs is in Missouri. But you a Cowboys fan, Hayden? He is. I put it out there. He said it earlier.
But he's not the one sitting here saying the only reason I'm a Lakers fan is because there was no home team.
There was no home team. What you want me to do?
There was
Be
a home
Jazz
football
fan?
team, and you ended up a 49ers fan.
I didn't like the home football team. I became a fan of the team that I was a fan of. You could have been an Atlanta Falcons fan. You close to Atlanta, right?
Huh?
No,
Yeah,
huh?
I'm not using that excuse. I'm not using that excuse.
No, don't try to turn this now. Let's jump on you, sir. You could have
I'm
been
not
a
in
Falcons
Atlanta
fan.
though.
You close,
I'm not in Atlanta.
And
You
wait,
close to Atlanta.
I'm gonna bring it even closer. You a Florida Gator fan, but you live in Alabama.
And that's because I wasn't the one who's sitting here saying that because of the home team. Because of the home team.
No,
that
change the
wasn't
story
my,
now, sir.
That wasn't
By
my
your
thing.
logic, you should be an Alabama or
that's
Auburn
your
fan,
logic.
sir.
By your logic, I should be an Alabama fan.
No, by my logic, you the one who's saying that you got to be a home team.
No, you said that New Orleans didn't have a home team.
Okay, you changing the story up now, sir. I'm not doing this with you.
Is that not what you're saying?
No.
Okay, we'll replay this after.
Yeah, we'll replay it because you was asking him about being the Lakers. Let's get back to what we was because we forgot. You was asking Theo about being a Laker fan or something.
That's how it started.
That's how it started. So what were you gonna ask Theo?
I asked
don't
Theo
know.
what I asked Theo.
Is LeBron James the best Laker of all time?
He said he said something about a LA Pelican fan.
Yeah, I asked him, was he an LA Pelican fan? That's what I asked him.
Right. But how we got on basketball?
Well,
Because he said he was a Lakers fan.
he said he was a Lakers fan. That's what he
Okay,
said.
all right.
So,
I'm with you now. I'm with you.
so Jim and Theo, who is the one player that has never fouled out of an NBA basketball game? And he's a Laker.
LeBron James.
That's a lie.
If you don't stop lying about that. He put his.
Oh, he fouled out of a game?
Yeah.
He was crying. He was crying the whole time, but yeah.
Y'all have any clue?
Boy, you went way back.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah,
Is it a current Laker?
That sounds like a
No,
it's
not
that's not a current Laker.
Oh, okay.
It's like
I was
What's the boy name that didn't get none for a
I'm
while?
gonna say Byron Scott.
Did you go?
The boy that didn't get none for a while. AC Green.
AC Green.
No.
I have no idea.
You about to say
Let me know when
Jerry
y'all
West?
give. Let me know when y'all give.
You
I
about
have
to
no
say
clue.
Jerry West?
I give. I don't know.
I give.
Yep.
No.
This dude said Tony
The
Romo.
big-
Tony Romo.
The Tony Romo, the Big Dipper.
Hayden
Wilt
said it's Kobe.
Chamberlain.
I remember Kobe fouling out
I
a game.
remember Kobe fouling out very well.
Wilt Chamberlain has never fouled out of a game.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
That's a random fact. I ain't got no more tonight.
There you go.
Well, yeah.
I got somebody in the thing saying New
showed
Orleans
up
suck.
working hour late
Football
today.
team suck. I don't know why you said that.
You had to give us that random fact. He showed up an hour late to work
was-
today.
There was another one. I
Yes,
just
it
want to
was.
point that out. You showed up super late to work, sir.
So let me apologize to everybody right now. The reason being is I was getting my practice in for culinary arts class, and today it was homemade fried rice. So I do apologize to everyone that I
Very
did.
good, sir. You know we got to give you a hard time.
And then share
Oh
it
yeah,
with
and I
nobody.
appreciate look, but also trying to get us a shameless plug. This is my new cognac that I've tried today. This is the company, and please, if you could trademark us and go ahead and send us some sponsorship money. It'll be greatly appreciated.
We do it all. And see, just for that, the producer will not dock your pay this week, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
You showed up late. The producer was about to
Wait,
dock
we
your pay,
getting
but we're
paid
not
for
gonna
this?
dock you
I'm
today.
about to say, what happened
I
to the
feel like
buddy?
the white kid off
Harden
the
said random fact. Lakers are
Paid
irrelevant.
for this?
The random fact. That's a true random fact.
Whoa,
right there.
whoa. Hang on a minute, Harding.
They said what they said.
Must
I
be a
have to agree
Celtics
with
fan
him.
or a Spurs fan.
I have to agree with him.
They said what they said.
What Jamonte Murray at? Diamante. Oh, all right.
Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. You was being real spiteful just now, sir. I had to throw that fact in your face.
Derek said, "I want a shot. You drink now."
You gotta be to be a Cowboys fan.
Celtics all day, man. It wasn't Celtics all day against the Warriors.
And where were the New Orleans Lakers at?
At home, hanging out watching the game.
Yep, sure was.
Ain't no
It's all
shame in
fun
that.
and games
I
until
ain't even scared of
KD
it.
joined the
I'ma tell you.
Celtics for Jalen Brown.
They was at home tweeting about who was winning.
All right, Harding, Bill Russell appreciation.
You should have caught the beginning of the show.
I'll give it to you one quick time.
Yeah, we did the Bill Russell appreciation at the beginning of the show, Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
One quick time, I'll give it to you. Because you asked for it. But then I'm gonna take it back down. The GOAT of rings. I mean, that can happen when you the biggest person ever in the thing. But
bro, don't do that.
No, he wasn't that. Bill Russell was not the biggest.
Don't do that.
He played when Will Chamberlain was walking around Earth.
George Mikan too.
George Mikan too. Yeah.
Gentlemen, I wasn't hating on him. I apologize.
You silly.
Yeesh.
I do apologize.
My goodness, y'all just tried to jump straight on me. That ain't right. But look, we didn't go on a smooth 28 minutes over our time. We thank y'all for being with us and clowning around with us up in here tonight. Michael Hayden said there was only 6 teams when
hey, come on,
man. Back there. That's why he got
what we are not gonna do, what we aren't gonna do is diminish what the great Bill Russell accomplished. We're not going to do that.
We're not going to diminish it, but I am going to mention
we're not even going to acknowledge that.
Even Harden had to laugh. That was funny.
We're not going to do that.
Don't act like you're not going to laugh, Fleck, because it was
I will
funny.
off camera, but we're not going to do that.
We're not going to diminish it, but it was funny. But thank y'all for showing up with us tonight. We appreciate y'all as always. Next week, we will be talking about the AFC South. So make sure y'all join us for that, because we do got a Titans fan here. So if you or anyone you know represents the AFC South team and you want to be on the show and you want to talk to us about it, hit us up in the comments or DM any of us that's on the show, and we'll make sure we get you in there. But for now, for next week and for tomorrow, I don't know what I'm saying right now. This has been All Sports Matter. We do appreciate y'all, and we're out.